Good afternoon. My name is Doug Lippincott. I'm Executive Director of Communications and a 2011 graduate of Keuka College. I will serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon. Before we begin, please make sure your cell phones are turned off. Thank you. And thank you too as well to Dr. Owen Borda for your fine performance on the organ, and we look forward to more this afternoon. We are here to celebrate a historic moment in the history of this great college, the inauguration of our 19th president, Dr. Jorge L. Díaz-Herrera. The word inauguration dates back to the 16th century. It is a rite of passage, marking a formal or ceremony induction to an office or dignity. Beginning with the first in 1904, inaugurations at Keuka College have provided the Keuka College family the opportunity to unite in a common purpose, to reflect on the past, and look forward to a bright future. And that is what we will do today. We will acknowledge a change in leadership, but do so within a context of continuity and tradition. Thank you, Dr. Díaz-Herrera, for asking me to take part in this ceremony. It is indeed an honor, as it is to introduce Reverend Eric Detter, our college chaplain, who will deliver the invocation.
Would you bow your heads? Almighty God, as we gather together today, we give thanks for Keuka College and celebrate Dr. Jorge Díaz-Herrera's inauguration as our 19th president. We are filled with excitement and great anticipation. We look forward to the days that lie ahead, and we are filled with hope. We pray blessings upon the faculty, administration, and staff that carry out Keuka's mission, trustees, alumni, and friends that support its mission, students that are touched and transformed by its mission, and our new president who guides our mission. The work that we do here is important. The office of president demands great responsibility and is filled with days that are both long and hard. We pray for wisdom and strength for Dr. Díaz-Herrera and the assurance to know that he is not alone. May he wake up each day invigorated to expand the influence of this college as begun by Reverend George Harvey Ball. May we wake up each day passionate to serve alongside him with a genuine commitment to this institution. While the work is hard, may we all be reminded that our efforts are well worth it as we are creating exemplary citizens and leaders to serve the nation and the world of the 21st century. And now, may the festivities of this day encourage and inspire us to be better people for having been here in this place. Amen.
Please remain standing as three members of the class of 2012, Renee Saracini, Jennifer Graham, and Allie Walker, will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Thank you, Renee, Jennifer, and Allie. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Melissa Brown, a member of Keuka College's class of 1972 and chair of the college's Board of Trustees. Please sit down.
Thanks, Doug. On behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time and joining us for this really special occasion. Keuka College hosts a number of special events each year: commencement, reunion, family weekend, honors convocation, which is actually occurring just tomorrow. And I've been fortunate to have been involved in a lot of them. You can tell from the date 1972. Each are special. I really will never forget even my own commencement, nor the various reunions or Board of Trustee meetings that we've attended, and countless other events that have brought me back to this college, this wonderful campus on this magnificent lake. But the inauguration of a president, well, that happens pretty infrequently. The last one was 14 years ago. So an inauguration really takes on a life of its own. It's not part of the annual academic cycle that begins late in August, when we welcome students at academic convocation, and culminates late in May with hugs and well wishes for our newly minted degree holders at commencement. But really, let's be honest, there's a little pressure on the person being inaugurated. All of the speeches the president of a college or university makes, his or her inaugural speech is the one most remembered, copied, and pulled out years later to see if the vision of the president laid out today for the future was realized or not. But I'm really most confident of our new leader that he's up to this task. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say tonight. As chair of the board, I've had the pleasure of working closely with him for the last 10 months since he's become president. I found him to be extremely hardworking, engaging, thoughtful, creative, and he is blessed with a wonderful sense of humor. He's accomplished much already, in particular bringing various segments of the Keuka College family together to create a long-range strategic plan for the college. And while the president is the focus of any inauguration, this event really isn't about one person. It's about an entire college and where it is at this moment in history, and more importantly, where it's going. It's a celebration that's occurred only 18 times in our glorious history. I am thankful and honored to be part of this historic day and this momentous event that's being held in this spectacular venue. I ask you, is there a more beautiful spot and fitting location to hold an event than my beloved Norton Chapel? And as I have just learned, or as I learned while I was putting this together, the Hall of Famer coach Marv Levy has been known to remark many times, including once right here at Keuka College, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? And if you love this place as much as I do, I know the answer, and that is nowhere else. I thank you for coming, and I welcome you today.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Now please welcome Dr. Peter Kodzis from the Eastman School of Music, Eastman Community Music School, who will perform a selection of Venezuelan valses by Antonio Lauro. Thank you for that wonderful performance, Dr. Kodzis. Now I'd like to introduce Ryan Nichols, a senior from Glens Falls, New York, and president of the Keuka College Student Senate.
Good afternoon, faculty members, staff, fellow peers, alumni, and our distinguished guests. I would first like to welcome you to a day of celebration. As the Student Senate President, I have seen firsthand the type of changes that Keuka is moving toward. These changes are a thing of beauty that we should be eager to see take shape. As Maya Angelou once said, we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. As Keuka moves into a state of transition, it is imperative that we delight in the process of change we are about to embark on. It is human nature to fear change, but change is nothing to be afraid of. Like the caterpillar that transforms into the butterfly, change helps us transform into better students, professionals, and friends. With this new presidency comes a new structure for progress. President Díaz-Herrera has begun his presidency by initiating a collaborative community. An example of this is the new Staff Council, where the staff has a chance to better voice their opinions and concerns. Further, students have been asked to sit in on budget meetings, something that has never happened before. These changes are occurring at a crucial time. The Keuka community is growing stronger and a collaborative environment is being fostered. President Díaz-Herrera has helped to increase the lines of communication between faculty, staff, and students, and by combining the Keuka community and creating a mutual sense of trust, we will see a better college begin to form. We are only in the beginning stages of change, and we are excited to see where Keuka is headed. Although I will not be here to see all the changes take place, it is safe to say that I and my fellow seniors have the highest of hopes for Keuka College. I am honored to be a part of this historic time at Keuka, and I would like to thank the President Díaz-Herrera for all he has done. His hard work and dedication will transform Keuka College into an institution of even more beauty that is seen in the wings of a butterfly. On behalf of myself and the entire student body, I would like to give a wholehearted congratulations and thank you to the 19th President of Keuka College, Dr. Jorge L. Díaz-Herrera.
Thank you, Ryan. Now it is my honor to introduce Dr. Thomas Carroll, Professor of Chemistry and Physics.
President Díaz-Herrera, your family, trustees of the college, alumni, visitors, delegates, and guests, faculty, administration, staff, and especially students of Keuka College. I'm very honored to represent the faculty of Keuka College at this moment of the inauguration of Jorge Díaz-Herrera as the president of Keuka College. I'm, of course, only one member of a very diverse group of faculty, and it is impossible to express the individual thoughts and feelings of all of us, but I think I can be confident when I say the following. Our college is noted for its emphasis on service and experience. We as faculty are devoted to our students, to their learning and academic and intellectual progress, and to their achievement of personal learning and eventual career goals. Learning both in and outside of the classroom is integral to much of what we do. But we interact with our students in other ways also, through advising, assisting, and evaluating field periods, being part of and advising work-study assignments, clubs and honor societies, and often just being their friends and colleagues and rooting for their teams. But the faculty also has a major role to play in the administration of the college. We take part in what is called shared governance, involving intense committee work, both regular and what we like to call ad hoc, which sometimes outweighs regular. We may, in the same day, be part of working groups with trustees, the president, other faculty, staff, students, and possibly in the case of a few of us, cleaning sinks and glassware. So I would like to just take this moment to say to our new president, you have a group of faculty who have always been devoted to the growth of their students and to the growth of the college. We are accustomed to hard and challenging work. We expect it. So part of your very multifaceted job is to call on us and to involve us in many of the things that you will do, and expect that the faculty will return the favor. We will be asking you for your participation in many of the things that we do. It may be a cliche, but it is appropriate. We are a team, and we all look forward to the challenges of the future with you as our president. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll. Now, please welcome Julia Bees, a 2006 and 2007 graduate of Keuka College, Assistant Registrar, and Vice Chair of the Staff Advisory Council.
Thank you, Doug. Good afternoon, President Díaz-Herrera, trustees, delegates, distinguished guests, students, faculty, colleagues, and friends. As the Vice Chair of Keuka College's Staff Advisory Council, it is an honor to be part of this historical event, the inauguration of our 19th president. When I was researching what makes a good college president, the response that I found most resounding was that a great leader makes a great college president. That led me to question what makes a great leader. Henry Kissinger once said that the task of the leader is to get people from where they are to where they have not been. So what qualities must a leader have to be able to accomplish this task? Great leaders never compromise core values. Their integrity is always on the forefront, never allowing those they lead to question their intentions. Their moral compass is always pointed to the true north. Great leaders have excellent decision-making skills. They stand by the quality of the decision that they make, never falter in the face of adversity. Great leaders have a commanding presence, considering every detail from the way they carry themselves to how they appear and speak. The message they deliver is always clear and never compromised. Great leaders are great thinkers. They're forward thinkers in many capacities. They're strategists with a feel for logistics, and they tend to think on a global scale, identifying key opportunities for future growth. They don't look at things as limitations, but rather undeveloped opportunities. Great leaders are knowledge seekers. They're curious by nature and transpose this into actionable initiatives. Without fail, they will question, challenge, and contend the status quo. Great leaders have an understanding of not only the organization as a whole, but also for the individuals that it employs. They know how to foster a sense of trust, honesty, and security. They foster open communication and encourage active listening. They know how to build a team and cultivate its growth. They recognize talent and encourage personal growth and development. Great leaders have the ability to embrace change. In a world that is ever-changing, a great leader will seek to improve the organization through continuous development and innovation. They are adaptable and resilient and ready to respond to an ever-changing organizational demand. Great leaders never quit. Through their ability to embrace change, their ability to be forward-thinking, they may find that they need to change directions along the way, but in the end, they never lose sight of their goal. In Dr. Díaz-Herrera's first year as our president, he has exhibited these qualities and many more. His vision of a shared governance among staff, students, and faculty were the impetus for the creation of the Staff Advisory Council. And although we are in the infant stages, still working on improving our bylaws, we are making college history right alongside him. Thank you, Dr. Díaz-Herrera, for making this possible.
Thank you, Julia. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Michael T.C. Huang, Administrative Chancellor for China Campuses.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and Dr. Jorge L, The title of my remarks today is Keuka College's Milestone, Moving Towards to an Era of Interdependency. Today, we are here to celebrate the inauguration of the 19th president of Keuka College. This inauguration is not only a ceremony for a new president, but also a milestone for a Keuka College. The word milestone has a special meaning in my remarks today. In the early stage, Keuka College has historically been an American college with domestic United States students. As now with Keuka's programs in China and Vietnam, and with students from different parts of the world coming to study at Keuka's campus. Keuka educates students from all around the world now. Today, there are approximately 8,900 students who have studied in our Keuka China programs in the past 10 years at our 4 China partner university campuses. These students include 5,788 graduates and 3,108 currently enrolled students. Next year, our total Keuka China program students number is expected to exceed more than 10,000. China benefits from the American education and the creative concepts brought by Keuka. And the Keuka learn more about China, a country with over 5,000 years of history and culture. So I could say that the milestone here is the landmark of interdependency between the United States and China. Today, we live in a global village. Countries cannot be isolated from each other. With our work and our programs in China, the mission of Keuka has become not only teaching, researching, service for community, but the Keuka's mission now also includes a passing on of a culture and a practice. And based on the good foundation built by Keuka's 18 presidents, I wish Dr. Jorge much success in leading Keuka College into a new era of our global village. As to the future of Keuka College, I am very glad to see Dr. Jorge has taken specific action that has led to the long-range strategic planning, be it LSRP effort. He is taking assessment of Keuka to answer questions concerning effectiveness, and efficiency. As a result of the LSRP effort, Dr. Jorge and many others will be working to develop a list of priorities, goals, and the measurable outcomes which will serve to formulate an action plan for Keuka in the coming years. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Keuka College Board of Trustees, faculty and staffs, especially Mr. Christopher Iverson, Dr. Melissa Braun, Dr. Gary Smith, and former President Dr. Joseph Burke, and also our new President, Dr. Jorge, and the Keuka College administration for their support of our China programs. Under their continued support and teamwork, Keuka College China programs will continue to reach new heights Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Huang. Now I am honored to introduce Dr. Nguyen Trang Zo, Rector of the Vietnam National University's International School in Hanoi.
Dear Dr. Professor Jorge Díaz-Herrera, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor for me to join the Keuka College community on this very important occasion. On behalf of the International School, Vietnam National University, Hanoi, I would like to extend our warmest congratulations to Dr. Díaz-Herrera on his appointment as president at one of prestigious higher education institutions. The same congratulations would go to the whole Keuka community for having a new president in its new development stage. We firmly believe that with his high quality, talents, and his clear-sighted leadership, Keuka College will grow from strength to strength, meeting the challenges of higher education requirement, recording new achievement, and further confirming its role as leading institution in experiential education. We are also confident that our cooperation will be consolidated for the benefit of all of us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to inform you that the joint training program, the Bachelor of Science in Management between the International School, Vietnam National University, Hanoi, and Keuka College, starting from March 2010, has attained a great success. That has contributed to diversifying our education system and at the same time creating more opportunities for our students and our lecturers follow an American accredited program at Vietnam National University. We are also happy with the increasing number of students entering our joint program. We have more than 300, out of which 20 students graduated in December last year, and that there will be 54 students who will be conferred the degree Bachelor of Science in Management in June 2012. In addition, there are also 12 Vietnamese students who received scholarship to pursue the degree at Keuka campus, and they have also achieved encouraging academic results. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I must confess that Keuka College is fortunate that it could appoint a person of the quality and caliber as Dr. Professor Jorge Díaz-Herrera to its highest academic and administrative. On this very significant occasion, I would like once again to extend our congratulations and best wishes to President Díaz-Herrera and all Keuka community. I would also like to express my thanks to Dr. Joseph Burke, Keuka's former president, Dr. Gary Smith, Keuka's vice president, Professor William Myers, Program Director, and other colleagues at Keuka College who have made worthy contribution to the effective collaboration between our two institutions. I would like to thank you all for your warm welcome and hospitality during my stay here. Finally, please allow me to wish you all health, success, and happiness. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Zoe. Now please welcome Linda Volblack Bow, JD, a 1967 Keuka College graduate and president of the Keuka College Alumni Association.
Good afternoon, President Díaz-Herrera, trustees, faculty, administration, staff, students, fellow alumni, and friends of Keuka College near and far. President Díaz-Herrera, as president of the Keuka College Alumni Association, it is surely an honor and a privilege to bring you congratulations and best wishes from the 10,000 traditional Keuka alumni, as well as some 6,000 overseas alumni from China and Vietnam. Here is an insight into President Díaz-Herrera's leadership approach as regards Keuka's alumni. In June 2011, before President Díaz-Herrera officially began his term as president of Keuka College, he signaled his recognition and support of the Keuka College alumni. Specifically, he accepted an informal invitation to drop by the Alumni Association's Executive Council meeting to meet members of the council, stay as long as his schedule permitted, and make whatever remarks he wished, if any. President Díaz-Herrera accepted our invitation and spent a significant amount of time with the Executive Council, laying out in general terms his vision for the future of the college. Since then, he has built on that initial rapport and signaled his ongoing support of the alumni and his understanding now and in the future of their importance to the college. One of the first initiatives that President Díaz-Herrera began was the development of a new long-range strategic plan. This ongoing effort is intended to take Keuka College where it needs to go by serving as a kind of roadmap that defines the mission and vision of the college and supports and guides its framework and major decisions over the next several years. A steering committee consisting of representatives of all the major constituencies of the college was formed to support the strategic planning effort. As a member of this very important committee, as well as the Mission and Vision Task Force, alumni are guaranteed input into the process. Keuka alumni understand and appreciate the importance of this effort and their role in it. In summary, President Díaz-Herrera, Keuka alumni welcome you and strongly support you as, under your leadership and vision, we continue to move confidently further into the 21st century. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Linda. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Mike Linehan. Mike is Executive Director of the Yates County Chamber of Commerce and serves as Chair of the Keuka College Community Associates Board.
Thank you, Doug. Good afternoon, everyone. 62 years ago, Reverend George Harvey Ball turned his vision into a community reality when he opened Keuka College on the shores of our beautiful lake. At a time when the vast majority of young men and women, particularly those in rural areas, did not attend high school, he envisioned a college that would provide a high-level education to all deserving students, regardless of economic background. As a brochure produced in 1891 attested, Keuka College was preeminently for the common people, with ample endowment. The brochure trumpeted, "It will raise an army of country people from comparative ignorance and consequent weakness to superior men and women who shall bring strength to the nation and help to humanity." Perhaps the greatest testament to the strength of Reverend Ball's vision is that Keuka College is still doing exactly what it originally set out to do 122 years ago. It is still educating superior men and women who will bring strength to the nation and help to humanity. Reverend Ball set the standard for the office of the presidency, a standard that has been upheld by 17 other exemplary citizens, each of whom shared the original vision and used the position to lead the college and the community in a positive way. Times have changed. Curriculums have changed. Certainly, our career paths have changed since those early years in the 1890s. There's a constant, however. Keuka College has never lost sight of its importance to the community at large. Keuka is a major employer, an economic force, and a key ingredient in the wonderful quality of life that we enjoy. Keuka educates people in a way that elevates their potential for success in the community and at the same time teaches social responsibility. We must remember that the college continues its mission with the wise guidance of the Board of Trustees, the alumni, the professors and staff, and with the integration of its community. All of these important elements provide the office of the presidency with a solid foundation on which a president can lead, teach, and succeed. We look forward to following Jorge's lead. We look forward to learning from Jorge's years of vast international experience, and we look forward to celebrating the successes that he will undoubtedly bring to Keuka College and our community. Welcome, President Díaz-Herrera. You have our undivided support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Walter Cooper, State University of New York Regent Emeritus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the faculty and administration of Keuka College, friends of education, students, and others who are concerned about carrying this nation to greater heights in terms of our educational efforts. Washington and Jefferson College and the Regents of the State of New York congratulate Keuka College on naming its 19th president, Dr. Jorge Díaz-Herrera. We applaud the wisdom and perspicacity in the choice of a scientist and an internationally known educator as president of this liberal arts college. The choice, in many ways, illustrates the vision of the college and the contradistinction of the C.P. Snow's thesis, the two cultures of the conflict between sciences and humanities, particularly on the campuses of liberal arts colleges. For many years, the C.P. Snow dichotomy was the source of much discussion and, at times, disturbances. The flexibility and ability to respond to societal needs by the liberal arts colleges like Keuka have long accepted the mutual relationships between the two cultures. Having a new president who represents and embodies many cultures will enhance the synergy between the sciences and the humanities of Keuka College. The Liberal Arts College has historically been capable of meeting the challenges confronting generations of students, and now the experience and leadership of the new president will enable the college to further advance its mission to educate a new generation of students equipped with the skills and knowledge to enable them to deal with the complexity of national life, national issues, and of course, the global economy. And I congratulate Dr. Herrera for being the 19th president of this great institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. It is my honor to introduce His Excellency Jorge Valero, Permanent Representative of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela to the United Nations.
Distinguished President Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera, distinguished Board of Trustees of Keuka College, distinguished faculty, staff, and students, distinguished family and friends, ladies and gentlemen. The thirst of knowledge has been a constant of the humanity, as has been the need for food to sustain life. Our liberator, Simón Bolívar, said in the 19th century, and I quote, "Morals and enlightenment are our first needs." Making a parody of him, we could say that knowledge and feeling are essential to face the relentless challenge of the man in this effort to harmonize with nature. The centennial tree is rooted in the land and in culture. At its blossom ad infinitum, running to the continuity of life. Culture is the word, and knowledge is in the books. It is also in the cultivation of the corn, wheat, and poetry, which gave a spiritual and material life to our ancestors, the Aborigines and enslaved who were forcibly transplanted to America. In the name of development, centennial olive trees and vines are destroyed, the same as the delighted servants and the archipress of Hita and so many other geniuses of the mankind. God and oracles have guided the spirituality and the culture of the past civilizations. They never perish. They transcend the limits of history. The millennial Egyptian or Mayan culture speak to us from their remains, papyruses, or manuscripts. The people who inhabited the Mesoamerican lands countries ago also passed to us their wisdom and poetry. When man, liberated from the basic needs, seeks the essential truths of existence in the religious spirit and the knowledge, the universities of Paris, Salamanca, and Cambridge were created in the late Middle Age. In America, the Department of Philosophy of the San Jacinto Company of Caracas emerged in the 16th century, and the Royal Pontifical University of Caracas emerged in 1721. Ladies and gentlemen, numerous are the Venezuelan personalities who have left their mark on the intellectual life of the United States. In 1817, Juan Germán Rossio published The Triumph of Liberty over Despotism in Philadelphia. Manuel García de Sena translated Thomas Paine, and Juan Pérez Bonalde is the most pristine translator of Edgar Poe's great poem, The Raven. Nicanor Bolet Peraza founded Tres Americas. magazine and was editor of New York Illustrated magazine in the 1890s. Dear friends, Keuka College has fertilized the soil of knowledge oriented toward the future for 122 years. While congratulating Professor Dr. Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera, Venezuelan born but naturalized in this country, I evoke Rousseau's creed in his discourse on the art of science. From it came a liberating and inclusive concept of education. I congratulate the President for being the first Venezuelan man who led a college in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Simón Rodríguez practiced the doctrine with the pupil Simón Bolívar. He renewed American education and was a precursor of the polytechnical education. He argued that education should include the knowledge of humanities and the mastery of the technique. This bastion of wisdom, Keuka College opened its classroom to the multiple disciplines and knowledge and extend its classroom to China and Vietnam. The learning environment at Keuka is intellectually stimulating. It is encouraged both academic and personal development. It offers a combination of traditional knowledge with innovative learning, which provides its students a solid foundation for a lifetime of service and leadership, while valuing social responsibility and diversity. I make vows for Keuka College under the guidelines of Professor Dr. Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera to become a leader and innovative and experiential learning. Thank you very much, dear friends.
Thank you, Representative Valero. As many of you know, Dr. Díaz-Herrera received his master's degree and PhD from Lancaster University in the United Kingdom. At this time, would you please turn your attention to the screen for a message from Professor Mark E. Smith, Vice Chancellor of Lancaster University.
Greetings to honoured guests, students and staff at Keuka College, New York, from Lancaster University in the northwest of England. My name is Professor Mark Smith, and I am Vice Chancellor at Lancaster. On behalf of everyone here at my university, I am delighted to have this chance to offer congratulations and best wishes to our distinguished alumnus, Professor Jorge Díaz-Herrera, on his inauguration as Keuka College's 19th President. Professor Díaz-Herrera is an outstanding representative of the international community of students, academics and alumni which makes up Lancaster's worldwide family. He was a student in Lancaster's County College between 1976 and 1981 and left us with both a master's degree and a PhD in computing. It is always a pleasure to hear of alumni successes, and these have a particular resonance when they come in a higher education setting. Professor Díaz-Herrera and I share a tremendous honour in leading our respective institutions at a time when more than ever before, education and scholarship have the power to shape our world and make it a better, safer, fairer and more integrated place. With this honour comes great responsibility, and I am confident that Professor Díaz-Herrera will lead Keuka College in a way that exemplifies his commitment to academia, as witnessed by the time he spent here as a student. Jorge, on behalf of everyone at Lancaster, very best wishes for your tenure as President. We are all tremendously proud of your achievement and look forward to staying in touch with you in the years to come. Again, please enjoy the rest of your special day, and best wishes and congratulations.
Hello.
We are delighted that two of the President's children will speak to us this afternoon. First, please once again turn your attention to the screen for remarks by his son, Alexander Diaz.
To everyone in Keuka, I really wish that I could be there right now, but right about the time that this video should be shown, I am finishing up a really rigorous academic term in Japan. At any rate, I promised my dad, who you know as Dr. Jorge Díaz-Herrera, but that I know as Papi, and I think from now on, Presidente Papi is what I'm going to be calling him. I'm sure he must be thrilled today, and I'm sure he really wishes that I was there. Now, when my dad asked me to make this video, he mentioned that he would like me to sing, but seeing as it's about 8:36 in the evening on a Sunday night here in Japan, just in terms of disturbing the neighbors, I don't think that's the best idea. Not to mention that I don't really know what inauguration songs are or what would be appropriate for that. And especially in the realm of opera arias, I don't think there's anything really fitting that I know. Anyway, most of what I'm learning in my college studies with opera deals with death and lust and conquering the world or conquering the world's women. But in lieu of that, I guess I'm going to have to say that I truly think that my father, Presidente Papi, is going to be the best thing that Keuka has seen in a long time. And I'm sure that he's going to do a lot of good for not just the college, but for the community at large. I particularly hope that he does a lot with art, and then he takes it to a very good place in the community, and really builds up some connections there. So on that note, have a very great ceremony. I'm sure it will be. Know that you have my best wishes, and that if I could be there, well, then I definitely would be there. All right. Kantai shiki omedetou gozaimasu.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Zorilu Diaz Bonilla, daughter of our President.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Gathered here to celebrate the inauguration of Dr. Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera as the professor and president of Keuka College, my grandfather and father has always said, la única herencia que yo les voy a dejar es el estudio. Yo no tengo dinero ni nada de eso, así que estudien, which means the only inheritance I will leave you is education. I don't have money or anything like that, so study, okay? And yes, Dr. Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera, you led by example. And as we watched and shared your struggles and achievements, your children, Jose Luis, Sorilu, Carolina, Arline, Alexander, Julian, and now your grandchildren, Leonardo and Sebastian, okay, took notes and are taking notes and have received the most valuable inheritance from a parent, which is education. El Caimán, who was a nickname for my grandfather, and you were and are so right. You have influenced and shaped our lives in many ways, but we have inherited more than a degree in one area or another. As I prepared for my part of this event, I began by asking my brothers and sisters how our father shaped our lives. And in a nutshell, this is what we came up with. Papi, which we call him, has instilled many life lessons in us which have become the foundation of who we are. He has shown us the value of learning, thinking, questioning, and working diligently to attain our goals, always providing numerous opportunities of worldly travel. He has been the most persistent in continuing to broaden our horizons by teaching us to appreciate and celebrate diversity in all forms. Papi has never ceased to help show us all of the wonder and meaning that life holds, and for that, we are eternally grateful. We believe that Keuka College will be shaped in much the same way that we were shaped. So I ask you, Keuka College, what will Keuka inherit from Professor and Pres DH, as you're called? You will inherit a focused, analytical, and very passionate leader, a charismatic, personable, and very well-rounded human being, or as Keuka magazine writes, a man of many talents. You will inherit also a tenacious optimist who thrives on challenge, a visionary team player with a relentless global commitment to learning and exploration. Quote, a person who deeply believes that with focus, perseverance, and confidence in your own skills, all your goals can be achieved and attained. A professor who knows why we are in the pursuit of education. In his own words, we are in the pursuit of education to see the sparkle in our students' eyes when they just simply get it, okay? Keuka College, I believe that Professor and President Dr. Díaz-Herrera will very much lead by example. And what will Keuka inherit from Dr. Jorge Luis Díaz-Herrera, other than a spectacular and splendid view? You will inherit, Dr. Díaz-Herrera, what will you inherit from Keuka College, other than a splendid and spectacular view? You will inherit the opportunity to work with a diverse and dynamic group of professors and learners. You will also have inherited the sense of personal accomplishments that comes from progressing with Keuka, from a national to a global leader in innovative and experiential learning. Also, you will inherit the enriching exposure that comes from collaborating within a learning community that values academic excellence, social responsibility and service, integrity, ethical behavior, and diversity. Gracias y estamos muy orgullosos de que nuestro padre ahora forme parte de esta hermosa comunidad de Keuka College. Thank you, and we are very proud that our father now forms part of this wonderful Keuka College community. Thank you.
Thank you, Zori. Now, please welcome the Keuka College Choral under the direction of Jean Doherty and featuring soprano soloist Jordan Rothel, who will perform Kyrie from Schubert's Mass in G. Thank you, Choral, for that wonderful performance. Now it is my honor to introduce Dr. Richard Tapia, recipient of the National Medal of Science in 2011 and university professor at Rice University, who will deliver the inaugural address.
Oops, it doesn't fit. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here. Now, after listening to Professor Mark Davis from Lancaster College give his words in the foreign language of English, okay, I thought maybe I should do it in Spanish, but I'm not, okay. It'd be easier for me and easier for you. Now, if I had to give my talk a title, which I didn't, but I could, it'd be called The American Dream. And I want to tell you, I've lived the American dream. Your president, Jorge Díaz-Herrera, has lived the American dream. The American dream is a wonderful thing. My mother and father came from Mexico. I was born in Los Angeles, which is part of the United States. Okay. People often ask me, what's it like, in Mexico, the food, I said, I've never lived there. I'm from California. I'm from Texas. I'm a product of this United States. I'm an American. My mother and father came, and when I asked them why, they said they came in search of education. My mother was 11, my father was 7. Now, did my mother come alone in search of education? No. She had to bring her 10-year-old sister, and my father came with his 10-year-old brother. The parents, in fact, my mother's father said, I've discovered this land of opportunity in education called the United States, and in particular California, and I'm sending you there. Small town in Mexico. And he did. A friend took her here, and someone else here, and a nun here. And she ended up in Los Angeles at the age of 11 with her 10-year-old sister. Similar things with my father. So they were going to go to school. But times were tough, because the people they stayed with were friends, of uncles, of whatever, okay? And he told her, you can go to middle school, my mother, Magda, but you can't go any beyond, because I don't believe women should be educated any further than perhaps middle school. So at the age of 12, my mother left, started working with a Jewish family, full-time, cooking, cleaning, and made enough money to get her younger sister to a private high school to go through. My father had similar stories. He didn't have anybody, so he turned to a Japanese-American family, and he lived with them. And they were sent to relocation camp. I think this were very, very sad part of this history of this country. He helped them with their business. And when they came back, they started him in business, okay? And so my parents did what they had to do to survive. Things were tough. Neither one of my parents graduated from high school, okay? Neither one. But they were smart. My mother was one of the smartest people in the whole world. I didn't know it at the time. Now, my mother's teaching, sí se puede. Yes, you can. Yes, we can. Cesar Chavez made that expression famous. Incredible pride. My mother was the proudest person in the world. And she taught us, all of us, there were 5 of us, we're not better than anybody, but we are as good. We are as good. And that was hard growing up as Mexican American in the city of Los Angeles. She taught us hard work. Education, she said, is the great equalizer. Education can take you wherever you want to go. And I said, Mom, how can you be so naive? That was when I was young. Now her children, 5. 4 of us have graduate degrees, albeit 2 are lawyers, okay? The American dream, my path. From the barrios of Los Angeles to very, let's say, poor high schools, poor elementary schools, poor education, and poor people, but happy people, with parents who came from Mexico, to the White House and the National Medal of Science. I mean, how much further can I go? The White House. So I tell you two stories. Everybody wants to know about the White House. You want to know about this? I have two stories, okay? Right after Obama gave me the medal, I closed my eyes, and I saw my mother, who had been dead for 5 years, "See, Richard, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I know you could do it, and I knew it could be done." Okay? Second thing is, as we lined up, somebody came out and instructed us, okay? Like we had instructions today on how to march and all that kind of stuff. And Jean, this is my wife, Jean, who's in a wheelchair here, was in the front row. And the person said, "The president does not like yelling." Nobody yelled. Okay. Then they went away, and the president came in. And then my name came up, and they said, "National Medal of Science, Richard Tapia." And Jean goes, "Yay, Richard," okay? And so I looked at the president, and I said, "She's Puerto Rican." All Puerto Ricans yell. And he said, "I understand," and he went like that to her, okay? Now, Latinos in the United States, we live in Texas, where 50% of the population is Latino, California. But it's coming to a state near you, okay? The Browning of America, if you look at the line, 4% per decade decrease in white population, 4% per decade increase in Hispanic population. 64% of the people in this country are white. You divide 64 by 4, you get 16. Decade is 10. In 160 years, there'll be no more white people. They'll all be brown. Now, that's a joke, although I have said that, and people didn't think it was a joke, okay? Hispanic births. This is the first year that in this country, the Hispanic births outnumber the immigration figures. We're self-sufficient. We're producing our own, okay? We don't have to depend on foreign countries to bring in Hispanics. We have our own, okay? Now, birth-death ratio. Here's the explanation. For every non-Hispanic that dies in this country, 1.5 are born. For every Hispanic that dies, 8.5 are born. Okay? So I could say it's because we're very romantic or whatever, okay? But the fact is that it's a very young population, okay? So this is good. Yet there are problems. Our representation in higher education. If I look at professors, especially in science and engineering and math areas, we're not there. They're essentially zeros. The same with the African Americans. Essentially zeros. So we're not there. In Houston, Texas, the high school dropout rate for male Hispanics is 67%. If you drop out of high school, you're not going to get to college. If you don't get to college, you're not going to get to graduate school, you're not going to get to faculty. So we have to solve the problem at the early stages. 67, we own the dropout rate. I saw in the paper the other day that as the Hispanics, or the Mexican Americans in particular, move into New York, they're doing many things, but one of the things is they're setting record dropout rates out of high school. So the states where the Hispanic population is the highest, it's not, I mean, in absolute numbers, it's going to be Texas and California, but the states that are growing fastest, well, the fastest right now is Arkansas and Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina. So the country is changing in a new era. Jean and I were in Austin, Minnesota not long ago, and the guy at the hotel said, "Here's a great Mexican restaurant." I said, "I'm not going to go to a Mexican restaurant in Minnesota." We did, and it was really good. So I talked to him, okay? And he was from Guadalajara. And I said, "What did you do?" Well, I wanted to open a restaurant. So I went to Texas, too many. Went to Oklahoma, too many. I just kept going north until there weren't that many, okay? And here I am. It's been great. Well, a lot of people are discovering that, okay? Now, representation today is no longer a moral issue. It's not like the 60s where you say, we denied certain people, African Americans, black population, the ability to go to school. Or we did in Texas, in South Texas in particular, we denied Hispanics. It's no longer a moral issue that we will do affirmative action to correct. It is a matter of numbers. What are you going to do when a population that is between 50 and 80% is not educated? It questions the strength of the nation, the health of the nation, the economic health of the nation and the state. So it's no longer moral issues, it's now survival issues as a country and as a state. We must be there too. We must be in positions of leadership as your new president, as I'm on the National Science Board and all those things. We understand ourselves, we have to be there too. Now, I want to share with you one of Obama's statements. Now, I was feeling guilty being National Medal of Science in the class of mathematics, statistics, because the people that have been my heroes for my whole life, Norbert Wieners and Paul J. Cohens and Feller and Doob, all the great mathematicians were there. How could I possibly be in that class with those people? It was very humbling. Do I belong? So I was worrying about it, and then Obama came along. And Obama said the following thing before he gave out the 7 Medal of Honors. He said, all 7 of you have contributed in research, but Richard Tapia has given in dimensions that are critical to this country, in representation, in outreach issues, and in broad population support issues. That's what the president said. So Gene and I left the White House feeling really good because the president made us feel very good. Okay? Presidents of countries and colleges set the stage. They greatly influence the culture and hopefully endorse and promote those views that keep institutions relevant and responsible for the nation's contemporary needs. The broader the background, the more chance they have for leading and implementing needing change. Therefore, Keuka College, I commend you for your progressive thinking in selecting Dr. Jorge Díaz-Herrera as president. He's the first internationally born president in the 122-year history of the college. He is the first Venezuelan-born president of a United States college or university. These firsts are important. He brings extra dimensions of understanding that will serve you well in the new era. He too has lived the American dream. From small-town Venezuela to the presidency of Keuka College. Dr. Díaz-Herrera knows these things well. The things that I've been talking about. He has an established record of caring about the education of the entire nation, comes with an outstanding record concerning diversity issues, built as Dean of the College of Computing and Information Sciences at Rochester Institute of Technology. He's well respected in the minority and the majority communities. Certainly, Keuka College has a fine reputation and has contributed to the educational success of the nation. However, it is my considered opinion that under Dr. Díaz-Herrera's leadership, you will see even greater accomplishments and more contributions. I wish my friend, your president, Jorge Díaz-Herrera, the very best, and I wish Keuka College the very best. I congratulate you and I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tapia. Now I ask Dr. Melissa Brown to return to the podium for the investiture of Keuka College's 19th president.
How exciting is this? It's pretty good. I don't think it gets any better. Dr. Díaz-Herrera, would you mind joining me, please? The Keuka College seal and President's Medallion are symbols of the college and the presidency. The medallion is a replica of our college seal. is struck in sterling silver with a silver chain. The medallion is worn by Keuka's president at all official convocations. And I just happen to have it right here. Sir, by the power invested in me by the Board of Trustees, and on behalf of the faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends of Keuka College, I officially welcome you as the 19th president of Keuka College. I assure you of our complete confidence in you and pledge our support as you strive to continue the greatness that this college's destiny. I present to you the 19th president of Keuka College, Dr. Jorge L. Díaz-Herrera.
Now please welcome Dave Seeley, Regional Representative for New York State Governor Mario Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. He was governor.
No one heard that, right?
Who will read a proclamation from the governor.
First off, some might argue that was a tough act to follow, but it was actually a wonderful act to follow. So I'm honored to come after that. Dr. Díaz-Herrera, distinguished guests, members of the college community, faculty, students, alumni. On behalf of Governor Andrew Cuomo, please accept his sincere gratitude for making the office of the governor a part of this momentous day for the established history of Keuka College. It truly is an honor to bear witness to a celebration of a great leader, of a great college's past, present, and future, and of academia altogether, as evidenced by our many distinguished guests from academia who have traveled, most of whom have traveled many miles to join us today. Keuka College represents all that is good about New York, and I must make a point to just to say that the college's commitment to diversity is one that is shared by Governor Cuomo, as he has embraced all races, creeds, ethnicities, genders, and sometimes ages in putting together his administration. And personally, as someone who graduated from a liberal arts college, this is a special occasion for me as well, a true believer in the liberal arts experience. It is an honor for me to be here as well. Governor Cuomo sends his regards. He's in the office today, probably not enjoying this beautiful day as much as he would like to, but he did ask me to come on his behalf and read the following message. Dear friends, it is a pleasure to send greetings as Dr. Jorge Díaz-Herrera is inaugurated as the 19th president of Keuka College. Throughout his impressive career, Dr. Díaz-Herrera's knowledge and passion for learning have helped shape the educational experiences and futures of countless students. His leadership and vision will continue to drive Keuka College's growth as a national leader in experiential learning and a valuable asset to the Finger Lakes and New York's higher education community. On behalf of all New Yorkers, I join in congratulating Dr. Díaz-Herrera on his inauguration and extend best wishes for much future success. Warmest regards, sincerely, Andrew Cuomo, signed Governor of the State of New York. So on behalf of the governor, congratulations to Dr. Díaz-Herrera and to the entire college community as you celebrate this momentous day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Governor Andrew Cuomo. Now, please welcome Jesus Abreu Anselmi, who will make a special presentation.
honorable members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, ladies, gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank the community of Keuka College and Jorge Diaz in particular for the distinction of including me in this solemn ceremony. It would have been very easy for me to make and present you a list of attributes of Jorge Diaz, an exaltation of his professional and academic achievements, which reached today a deserved milestone, earned with discipline, method, determination, and an exceptional talent. Rather, I will share with you some thoughts that come to mind to all of us, his college mates and professors, when we started the adventure of learning together system analysis, a discipline that by 1970 was totally uncharted territory. It is on behalf of his college mates and professors that I stand here today. In 1970s, in Barquisimeto, a small city in Venezuela, the site of universities and technical institutes, a group of entrepreneurs, 4 universities, and some local governments decided to create a computer service enterprise with a model of service that, we are proud to say, can be seen today in the notorious development services that are provided from China, India, and Brazil. That company, ERCO, with the computer and communications technology available then, was a successful experience and a reference for our country. At the same time, and as an integral element of ERCO's development strategy, the University Centro Occidental created the program of system analysis, which by 1974 graduated its first class, to which Jorge Díaz-Herrera belongs. Today, I will make a reflection about those deeper forces behind men's most important accomplishments, forces that have pushed the development of humanity and that are nowadays subjected to terrible scrutiny. America is a continent of rare contrast. From Canada to Patagonia, a rich tapestry of cultures, joined on occasions, separated most of times, but all with a Pan-American identity. Unfortunately, an elemental common identity, but an identity nonetheless. North America has been described as a land of opportunities. I believe Latin America may be described as a land of possibilities. Individuals and nations may turn those possibilities into opportunities by devoting talent, effort, and determination to it. Possibilities and opportunities, a complex equation to solve. This search involves variables of challenge, creativity, timing, and resources that factor dynamically into men's lives. For great men, the challenges are thrust upon them, and they grow as they strive to solve the question of their life while impacting positively their families, friends, and communities. The human being faces great challenges during his life. What makes those challenges become achievements is the internal force that arises from a sense of purpose. Achievement is the result of the awareness of future, and this is what lies behind Jorge Díaz-Herrera's life of purpose. And this is what this solemn event at Keuka represents for those who met Jorge Díaz-Herrera 40 years ago. A life like Jorge's is the testimony of what nests and vibrates in the soul of the American man who wants to build a future that he can touch now, a man that knows that it is hard to achieve and that it will demand faith and patience, and that he will have to overcome adversity. That man has such sense of transcendence that he exceeds the usual social patterns of professional success and reaches the highest echelons of merit. That is the man that creates opportunities, and for it, it goes beyond borders. Where he goes, he searches. Where he arrives, he creates. That man is the opportunity itself. He does not wait for any land to give him one. A man like this has a deep sense of duty, but, which is much more important, he makes of it a public duty. This is the kind of man that creates the dream for the whole America. As for each goal he reaches, he already has set a list of newer, more demanding ones. In summary, this is the class of man that creates an epic of the deepest longings of mankind, dignity and liberty. We, the people from all the Americas, know that our nations live an endless search for success within an endless questioning of destiny. But with this gathering, we all are attesting a faith in the man, in his capabilities to pursue a purpose, in his search of knowledge, learning and sharing it, to humbly cooperate with God's gift of creation. I believe that the world does not wither, but that it flourishes in the hands of men like this. I believe that our former students learned the fundamental lesson of academy, that they had to be better than us, their teachers, much better. Let me introduce one of these men, my friend Jorge Díaz-Herrera, who I am sure will continue here at Keuka College his lifetime of learning.
I think it's my turn, right? Well, I'm overtaken. Good afternoon, everybody. 2 years ago, about this time, I made the decision to step down as dean at RIT and to embark on a sabbatical year, something that I have never done in my life. 30 years of academic life, never taken a sabbatical. RIT agreed to do that, and I was so happy. With my dean's salary to go away for a year, unbelievable. Then soon after, I was alerted to the president position at Keuka College. I was a little skeptical at first, but only for a few minutes, because of my background, computer science. But soon enough, I became very interested, and I entered the race. The rest is history. Thus, we are here, gathered here, to celebrate a new presidency of this great institution. And as I think of this event, I feel tremendous excitement and joy as we embark together on a new chapter in the life of Keuka College. I'm truly, truly delighted to have been chosen as Keuka's 19th president. And I'm thankful for the opportunity afforded to me. Only here, in the land of opportunity, this will happen. I thank the many students, staff, faculty, alumni, trustees, and members of the Penyan community that patiently shared their thoughts during this long search process and favor my candidacy. Thank you all for doing that. It is customary in these occasions to thank numerous individuals and to present my vision for the college. I'm sorry to tell you that these two aspects might make my speech a little bit longer than desired, but I'll do my best. At this time, I'd like to welcome our college community here assembled, our distinguished guests, members of the PIN and Keuka Lake community at large, friends and family. Would the Keuka students in attendance here please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. Would the Keuka faculty please stand and be recognized? Keuka College staff present, please stand and be recognized. Keuka alumni present, please stand and be recognized. You are. Actually, I'm going to get out of my script for a little bit. I had the pleasure to meet a lady that graduated from this college in 1941, last weekend, and she made it. Thank you, Naida. Board of Trustees present, please stand and be recognized. Now, I would like to thank all those individuals that took care of the numerous details in preparation for this event. And trust me, there were many. I'm, of course, referring to the Inauguration Organizing Committee. Special thanks to Kathy Way and Carrie Mann, the co-chairs of the committee. Would members of the Inauguration Committee present here please stand and be recognized? And thank you for such a good job. We saw only a few, the rest are still working out there. Also, many thanks to the facilities management team for working so hard in making this campus as nice and safe as it can be. Thank you so very much. Next, I'd like to recognize the delegates from more than 60 colleges and universities, including 4 from Venezuela and other international representatives present here today. I will name several individuals that are here as delegates not in the program, and you can see the list up there. But in particular, 2 of my classmates that made it last minute, Carlos Serra Blasini and Judy Borges. Please rise. Back here. It is also my pleasure to greet additional important guests here today that are 2 past presidents of Keuka College. Please help me recognize Drs. Arthur F. Kirk and William Boyle. Please rise. Our immediate past presidents, Joe Burke, and Interim President Frank Strong send their salutations and regrets for not being able to be here with us today. Greetings to them as well, and thank you for what you've done for this college. And like a famous scientist said once, and I'm paraphrasing, it is easy when you stand in the shoulders of giants. No pun intended. Members of my cabinet, thank you for your support. My 4 vice presidents, Ann Wheat, Gary Smith, Jerry Hiller, and Jim Blackburn. Thank you. One very important member of my staff that deserves special mentioning. I'm referring to Lori Haynes. Some of you call her the boss's boss. And without her, I just couldn't function. From whatever time I show up in the office, no matter how early I show up, she's already there. And she tells me exactly what to do, what to say, and where to go. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Members of the Platform Party, thank you very much for your kind words, wonderful performances. Peter, you did a wonderful rendition of very difficult pieces to play in the guitar from a compatriot, Antonio Lauro. I am particularly grateful, in addition to 3 individuals that made a special effort to be here, my dear friends, Dr. Walter Cooper, Dr. Richard Tapia, and Jesus Abreu. Thank you very, very much. Two other very special individuals present here today I want to recognize. Dr. Albert J. Simon, former president of RIT, who brought me to this part of the world 10 years ago. And Dr. Peter Freeman, founding Dean Emeritus of the College of Computing at Georgia Tech, without whose mentoring and support, I wouldn't have known how to run your college, Al. So thank you both, and you are here present. We're getting there. Now my family is a large family, but I'll speed it up. You met some of them already. I'll start with my dear brother Ramon and his wife Rosario, who flew all the way from Barquisimeto, and my sisters Nena and Zenobia, who are also here present. My children, Jose Luis, Sorilu, Carolina, Arlene, Alexanders, and Julian, or Julian, and their life partners, George, Leo, and Jairo. And of course, my grandchildren, Sebastián y Leonardo, and Andrea Carolina, who is on her way. My other brothers and sisters, and the rest of my extensive family in Quibor, Rio Claro, Barquisimeto, Venezuela. They are watching this event live via the internet. Reciban un caluroso saludo a todos por allá. Warm greetings to all of you. Same for a very special audience in Turkey. Mahraba Arkara. Seni seviyorum Özlem. I love you, Özlem. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to honor my parents, Ramon and Josefina, without whose guidance I would lose my horizons, and without their sacrifices, wouldn't be here. Okay. I hope I didn't miss anyone. But there have been lots of individuals that during my career, my life, have contributed one way or another for me to be here. Thanks to them all. So that's the first part. So I think it only took 8 minutes. I'm not watching, but I was not counting, but I thought that it was. The second part is, you know, when I talk to people, they usually ask me two questions. What brought me to Keuka? And what am I going to do? But before I start doing that, I don't want us to forget that Keuka College is the real star of this celebration. In the end, the college is bigger than any position and any person, especially the president. This is a great occasion, indeed, for all of us to celebrate and to be ready for the next phase. We have to celebrate the accomplishments, and we have to embrace the future with big and greater things to accomplish. I don't have an elevator speech to tell you, and I don't want to have an elevator speech to tell you why I came here and what I plan to do. The first several months of my presidency feature all of the same and more of the same. That is, in conversations I'm having with everyone, and I mean everyone, to ascertain the hopes, dreams, and concerns they have for Keuka College. One thing resonates loud and clear. Our community is passionate about this place. Their vision for the college may differ in the details, but everyone is proud of the accomplishments, and everyone, and I mean everyone, absolutely believes we are ready to take it to the next level. And that's what I want to do. I started my tenure with a main focus on two tasks. I learned from my previous mentors that you just do it one step at a time. The first one is to collectively understand the long-term implications of the decisions we were making. And second, to start leading change to harmonize the institution's aspirations to set goals to where we want to be, not next year, not in the next 5 years, but 10, 15, even 20 years from now. I won't be here that long, but that's what we plan to set up for us. The assessment naturally uncovers problems as well as new opportunities. For me, the glass is always half full. This is also about deep understanding of who we are as an institution and whom we are serving. That's very, very important. It also begs the question, how big is the gap between where we want to be tomorrow and where we are today? My good old friend, Watts Humphrey, and Irash Hirmanpur that is here will remember this, used to say, if you don't know where you're going, you could take any road, and you'll get there. But more importantly, he said, if you don't know where you are, the best map won't get you there either. So we need both. And that's what we are trying to do with the long-range strategic planning exercise. Let me point out, in addition, that we have to, during this exercise, be clear and honest about how much change are we prepared to bear. And let's not forget that no institution is greater than what its board wants it to be. Our original mission that's set the college in motion by Reverend George H. Ball still resonates with us. magnificent transformations of ordinary citizens into superior men and women who shall bring strength to the nation and help to humanity. The question then becomes, what's next? What changes are needed for a dynamic institution able to attract the students of today and tomorrow? What should liberal arts colleges look like in the 21st century? What are the qualities at the center of these institutions that will remain valuable in the 21st century? What needs to change to serve the students in a new society driven by technology? Specific answers to these questions definitely involve the entire Keuka community and beyond. And to this end, as I said earlier, we embarked in a long-range strategic planning to be completed this summer and hopefully put into motion next fall. One of the first outcomes of this plan was a refined mission, which I would like to share with you today, even though it was already mentioned before. Keuka College exists to create citizens and leaders to serve the world of the 21st century. That says it all. Thus, our purpose is to foster informed citizens and engage global leaders. Mission defines strategy, and strategy defines structure. This is a tool that will make people productive and working together. So Keuka, in addition to its residential campus offerings, has programs for working adults throughout upstate New York and a strong global reach. Therefore, we need to re-examine our structure and use the resources to make sure that we are effective, i.e. doing the right thing, and efficient, that is, doing the right thing right. We must keep momentum, though, while reflecting on what's possible in the future. A universal problem of every citizen in this century is how to get access to information about the world and how to acquire skills to articulate and organize that information. The college, as I said, has made important inroads in these three pillars: enhancing its residential college focus, providing educational access for adults, and expanding its global programs. I will say that a fourth pillar or component, and one that interwoven the other three, is technology. I will talk about this later, but for now, I'd like to say, or I'd like to propose, that the idea is to benefit from technology, not to be a slave or subordinate of technology. In fact, I will venture to say that we are already too late, and our job is to free us from technology. My goal here is to operate Keuka as an institution destined to become what I call the cradle of the next generation of scientists and humanists. But scientists and humanists that are armed with the tools and analytical techniques of the times. I have a few examples I want to share with you. What if we were to produce teachers ready for the 21st century's classroom? Criminal justice experts solving cybercrime, scientists armed with computational methods, nurses proficient in medical informatics, OT professionals highly skilled in using technology, English majors fluent in digital storytelling, and the list could go on and on and on. So let me turn to the question of the value of the liberal arts, and we heard great articulations about that earlier. And I will circle back into technology. I personally and specifically want to reaffirm the deep focus of our curriculum on the liberal arts. Liberal arts colleges and universities are an American invention, and as far as I know, pretty much a unique American phenomenon. I believe only in this country. There are some attempts in Europe, but nothing like what we have. Although we are only serving today about 4 to 5% of the post-secondary population, what we do is quite remarkable. We serve a very special population of our youth that would otherwise not function as well in a large, comprehensive, or research university. I know this firsthand with 2 of my kids. Having said that, in the current economic environment, there are concerns about a pure liberal arts education in the traditional sense. A couple of months ago, I was watching PBS, the news hour, on the subject of jobs for college graduates. There were pointed questions of the value of a traditional liberal arts education. Why? They said they can't find jobs. I totally disagreed, and I researched this subject thoroughly, and it's quite the opposite. A liberal arts education provides its own rewards, expanding the mind, and a superb preparation for the world of work and service, especially the way we do it here. A liberal arts foundation is good for the economy and for democracy. You'll see why. It provides a common foundation that allows firms to share common culture. Look at the number of successful leaders in this country. How many of them have had a liberal arts education? Just check, Google it. It is also widely accepted that the liberal arts education provides the best preparation for changing times. And I like to quote somebody that is very close to Rochester, the late David Kearns, champion of education and former Xerox CEO, when he said this: "The only education that prepares us for change is a liberal education. In periods of change, narrow specialization condemns us to inflexibility, precisely what we don't need. We need the flexible intellectual tools to be problem solvers, to be able to continue learning over time." Field experience matters more for companies today than ever, and liberal learning, combined with a pragmatic experiential approach, the hallmark of a Keuka education, something that we have been doing since the 1940s, it's a winning combination. I have no doubt whatsoever about that. And I did some research. Our graduates are not only functioning in today's environment, but they're equipped to lifelong learning skills. I have tapped the alumni that I have met, and at least, the majority of them have done 2 or 3 careers, not jobs, 2 or 3 different careers because of the education that they got here. I went further, and I was told, and I need to find the right source, that's what we do in science, that 95% of our graduates, after 6 months of leaving Keuka College, 95% of them are either working or in graduate school. That's a remarkable achievement. We're going to get it to 100%, well, 99.9%. An education with liberal arts base allows us to address difficult, complex problems, as somebody else mentioned earlier, and allows us to place knowledge without any specific specialization and within context. This is what you need to solve difficult problems. Something that I call knowledge in context. I also believe in an education that unique places like Keuka College can provide. And this is one of the reasons that drew me to this job. Keuka is a national leader in experiential learning, liberal arts-based education, with a selection of very high-quality professional programs and a global reach. What else do you want? and it's small enough that I could probably do something about doing even better and more. Now let me circle back to technology and the liberal arts curriculum. In my experience, the hardest thing, and I learned this the hard way, the hardest thing to do is to move the curriculum in a given direction that is truly perceived by the market and as being distinctive to seize opportunities. This is difficult because we don't know exactly what the future will be. People usually get confused. I side with the faculty when a new president, or a new dean in my case, comes with new ideas. How do you know? Show me the money. So I truly believe that the curriculum belongs to the faculty, and it is my job to work with the faculty to move it to wherever we think it needs to go. So what will a curriculum look like for the liberal arts 21st century? That's the question I asked the faculty to look at. We don't have an answer yet. But I believe we're obliged to reconsider a liberal arts education in a digital connected world. As the late Steve Jobs said, and he was a big fan of liberal arts, technical skills are not enough. I will add, but technical skills are needed. They're not necessary, but they might be also on the other side of the equation. They're not sufficient, but they may be necessary. Today, even highly technical jobs require a high degree of intellectual skills and contextual understanding versus professional-oriented programs focused on workforce development. I am here referring to a former White House speechwriter, Dan Pink, who wrote a very interesting book about the right brain, where he makes a distinction between conceptual workers of the 21st century and knowledge workers of the 20th century. So conceptual workers are anchored in the liberal arts with a strong science, math, and humanities plus technology. Give an example. Google, a company that did not exist just 10 years ago, is hiring 6,000 new employees this year, 5,000 of which are from the liberal arts or humanities. And I could give you the source. Marisa Mayer, who is the 20th employee taken by Google and is now the vice president for consumer products, says the following: people who are smart, we are looking for people that are smart and get things done from every possible background. Yet, the humanities had a particular relevance. Developing user interfaces, for example, was at least as much about knowing how to observe and understand people as about pure technological skills. And then she added something that I understand very well. Even programming, computer programming, was fundamentally about communication between humans and often came more easily to humanities graduates than mathematicians and computer scientists. This just came up in the news 2 weeks ago. So it has been said that the education of the future must make a concerted effort to regroup scattered knowledge. And that's what Dan Pink calls the conceptual worker. So that's one thought that I'm throwing out there. Like somebody used to say, just for the heck of it. But I hope that it will move us in the right direction. What else am I thinking of? I listen to my kids. The arts. We must bring the arts back to Keuka College. This discussion, of course, is part of the prioritization process of the long-range strategic planning. But in the meantime, conversations are underway with the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, to see what we can do together. And we're working on something very specific that I cannot share with you today because we haven't signed the dotted line yet. But you will hear from it. I wish I had, so I have some concrete news to give you. But these are exciting possibilities. Another exciting project is the potential reviving of the Samson Theater in downtown Penang. We should be part of this effort and also participate wholeheartedly in the Penang 2020 planning initiative. The Finger Lakes Museum is another project that plays in this arena. And there are countless others. Finally, in terms of what things I'm thinking about, there is the global reach. Perhaps one of the most important strategic trends for any college or university today is an international approach to education in all aspects, and the creation of multifaceted partnerships. Internationalization of education is today an institutional imperative. We have done it. We know this firsthand. International students bring economic, academic, and cultural benefits to the campuses. With the leadership of Gary Smith and his team, we are proposing a global higher education ecosystem. As such, a global campus network of international higher education consortia are very timely, innovative entities that can embrace these ideas and trends to help meet the potential demand for international education around the world. These are embryonic ideas, but ideas that will also be part of the long-range strategic planning. I'd like to conclude these remarks by talking about education in general. And forgive me for being redundant from what has already been said. But it is a passion of mine. I have done it all my life. My son told me once, "Papi, you never stop being a student." I said, "There's nothing wrong with that. You should do the same." In an era of knowledge-based economy, higher education is key for the next American century. Demographics are extremely important. I'm not going to repeat what Richard Tapia already told us. Federico Mayor from the UNESCO says very recently, education is the force for the future. It is the most powerful tool to instigate change and to deal with it. Education is also the most fundamental force to change the human condition. This is something that I hear constantly from my dear friend, Dr. Cooper. Education also plays directly into our democracy. I'd like to quote John Dewey in 1933 when he said, democracy has to be born anew every generation, and education is its midwife. Think about that. Thus, we do, as higher education leaders, have never been so critical. As presidents, we are responsible for fostering an environment in which teaching and learning, scholarly work, and creative activities function cooperatively and complementary. This must be of such nature, however, to attract, retain, and sustain the outstanding staff, faculty, and students that we need. The most critical aspect of the job is to provide this leadership with imperatives of excellence. So quality is the mantra. In this regard, we must continuously assess the college priorities against environmental concerns at the local, national, international level. My favorite analogy for this is walking up the down escalator. You have to be a little bit faster. I will enthusiastically run up the down escalator and give my full dedication to the college in the only way that I know, with passion and firmness. It takes me time to make decisions, because when I make a decision, I will not go back and change my mind. You can be sure that I will put my heart and soul towards moving this fine institution to the next level, whatever that we decide to be. To the students and their families, I would offer excellence and more opportunities by encouraging innovation and student success. A Keuka preparation gives students the skills needed to succeed and to continue development, aware of ethical and social responsibilities, ready to work within a global economy, armed with a blend of critical thinking abilities and the strength of disciplinary knowledge that we do so well here. To the faculty and staff, I would offer you optimism and stability in an era of receding resources and raising expectations. I have made a point to meet you individually to chat about your dreams and your views about the college. That was taxing on my schedule, but extremely worthwhile. Thank you for making time to see me. I formally invite you, the faculty of this great institution, to take the lead and ponder on this and other ideas and create the liberal arts curriculum of the 21st century. Let's not forget that resilient academic institutions succeed because of their staff, faculty and students, friends are strongly committed to them. I will need your commitment. I know I have it, but we should never forget that I will work hard in building confidence and trust to achieve the solidarity needed to address difficult, changing times. Additionally, I want to convey a commitment to treat everyone fairly and to give everyone the opportunity to contribute to the future of this great institution. I intend to be a leader, one that manages in ways that support larger institutional goals, incorporating broader strategic considerations into management decisions. One thing is important. We must learn to balance short-term concerns with long-term goals of the institutional health. It is my job to help you achieve that balance. I'm also committed to create a sustainable financial model by enrolling sufficiently well-qualified students and by making hard choices but informed ones. In summary, and I apologize for being so long, my entrepreneurial passion for building new things and carry out exciting projects keeps me moving forward, which together with my devotion to higher education brings me here, my next stop, to lead Keuka College into the 21st century. Armed with a new vision for the future and with the powerful decision-making of my team, I am ready to mobilize others to contribute to the achievement that we plan for the future. You cannot imagine how excited I am to join the team, making Keuka the greatest place that it can be. I must confess that the enthusiasm and passion that I experienced in the past 10 months, but being here among the Keuka family, is very contagious, and I really fire up, particularly when I have lunch with my students in the cafeteria. I thank you all for giving me this opportunity, and I'm delighted to be Keuka's 19th president. Thank you.
Thank you, President Díaz-Herrera. Reverend Stan Kaperzak, pastor of Our Lady of the Lakes Catholic Community, will now deliver the benediction.
Let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, in your wisdom and love, you surround us with the mysteries of the universe. Throughout the ages, from the time of Abraham until this very day, you have provided leaders to help and guide the people you have created. Assist President Jorge Díaz-Herrera with your spirit of counsel and fortitude, that his administration of this college may be conducted responsibly and with tender care. May he use the gifts that you have given him, coupled with your divine guidance, to execute this office with humility. Send your spirit of wisdom and blessing upon President Jorge Díaz-Herrera, his family, the administrators, the staff, the students, and the faculty of Keuka College. And send your abundant blessing upon all of us who are gathered here today. To you, who by means of your power working in us, is able to do so much more than we can ever ask for or imagine. To you, God, be the glory for all ages, forever and ever. Amen.
Just a reminder, you are all invited to a reception in the Leitner Library immediately following the conclusion of the ceremony. The Keuka College Choral will perform the Keuka College alma mater, then the processional will begin. Please remain in your seats until the platform party has left the chapel. And now please stand for the alma mater.